What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Realistic Career Mode with Wrexham. This is episode number 51, and we're in the second half of the road to a century of episodes. Episode 50 was a bumper episode. You'll see there all the games we played. Not a great run of form. One, we started off the episode great with a win against Rotherham, but then we drew 3 times and then lost twice. Got knocked out of the cup by League Two Swindon in a big cup set, and dropped out of the playoff race, I'd say, with a big few episodes coming up if we want to remain in that race. Well, today you'll see us face Luton, Middlesboro, Stoke and Ipswich as we look to regain a bit of form. As mentioned, we're winless in our last 4. Only 1 win in our last 8 in all competitions has seen us there drop down to 13th in the table, 8 points adrift of Watford, but plenty of games still to go. So it just takes a bit of run of form, and then we'll be back involved in the playoff hunt. Sheffield United, they're 8 points clear at the top right now. Well, last episode was a big one for a number of reasons. We had plenty of players leaving on loan. We signed a couple as well, including Will Smallbone, who we signed on a pre-contract. He'll be joining in the summer. His deal with Southampton running out at the end of the season, and they didn't want to renew him. So we snapped him up. I feel like this is a really good pickup. I'm really excited to see him in a Wrexham shirt next season. We also had 7 of the youngsters leave on loan, so very happy to see them hopefully get out and get some experience. And speaking of the youngsters, Dexter Heath, we signed him into the youth academy a few months ago. They said he was a striker. His stats clearly were not of a striker, so we converted him to a CDM knowing that his rating would shoot up, and that it did. It went up 13 ratings to 61, so very happy about that indeed, and very excited to see what he can provide with us in the next few years. So we had 7 players leave on loan, 3 permanent sales as well, which was really important because a couple of those players, their contracts were expiring at the end of this season, so I was very happy to get them out the door. And then we brought in James Milner on a free to add some experience into the midfield, and Will Smallbone on the pre-contract. Well, you would have seen there as well, Jewison Bennett is back from injury after suffering a broken toe 3 months ago. He is back in training and will be available in a couple of games' time. But for now, we'll have to do without Jewison. As we head to Kenilworth Road for the first game of the episode, it is Luton away, the former Premier League side now down in the Championship, but looking to go back to the Premier League. 5th in the table right now, 4 points off automatic promotion, so their chances are pretty good. We drew 2-2 with them earlier in the season at home. Well, in injury time in the first half, Paul Mullin would find it Rocco Vata, and the winger's shot deflected off the Luton defender, hit the bar and went in. Thankfully for us, the Luton fans were silenced at the end of the first half. It was quite a quiet game, I'll be honest. We were quite poor in the game. Luton were on top, Fotheringham making a couple of saves, but we did manage to see this one out. A big 3 points for us, a good clean sheet as well for Wes in goal, as we rack up just, it's 1 win in the last 8 in all competitions, but a 7th clean sheet for Fotheringham, which is really, really cool to see. Now, Camille's spoken about their experience with Wrexham. They're doing a realistic career mode with Wrexham as well, and I absolutely love seeing these comments, so keep them coming if you're running a realistic career mode with Wrexham or any other club. Just drop a comment down below and let me know how your realistic career mode is going. Camille said that they helped the injury frequency and severity, causing them to shuffle a few things around, and they had to get creative with the side. But I absolutely love that. That is part of the hustle with the realistic career mode. You deal with the adversity and the challenges, and it makes you have to adapt and potentially sign players that you weren't expected to, or sell players that you weren't expected to as well. I think Camille said that they sold Jacob Mendy, which is obviously a player that I've kept in for now. So if you're running a realistic career mode, let me know in the comments how it is going. What rules do you implement on your career mode? Well, the Welsh scouting report would come through. A few with potential. We'll see how the report comes back in the next month or so, because I don't want to pull the trigger too soon. We're at that stage now where we don't want just anyone in the youth academy. I want good quality in there. So we'll wait to see how those players look in a couple months' time. As we head into the second game of the episode, and it would be Middlesboro at the racecourse grounds, captained by Alan Brown, who has just left us for Teesside, and he is captaining the side in the cam position as well. We never played Alan Brown in cam. Maybe we're missing a trick. Who knows? Obviously, if you remember, just a few episodes ago, actually, we played out the game of the season against Middlesbrough at the Riverside. A 5-4 defeat. Vata's bicycle kick, Latte Lath starring for Borough as they completed a second half comeback from 4-2 down to win 5-4. Some fantastic goals in that game as well. What a match that was. And Latte Lath would be at it again. This guy, a real thorn in my side. I think he got 2 goals and an assist in that 9-goal thriller. He grabs a goal here. Poor from Foderingham, I'll be honest. He should have done better. And Emmanuel Latte Lath grabs his 14th league goal of the season. Well, Borough would not stop there. The 32nd minute, Engels breaking in to the box. The guy who scored the winner in that 9-goal thriller. He squares it to McGee, whose shot crashes off the post. And then just before the halftime break, Vata finds Mullin. Mullin into Elliot Lee, and a great chance here, but a good, strong save from the Borough keeper, Dieng, in goal. As that was our first shot. That was our first shot in the entire half, to be honest. Borough absolutely dominating us. And Dieng would have to be on his toes here as he stops Elliot Lee once more. And then from the resulting corner, the cross comes in, and Will Fish, who is back in the starting lineup today after 3 months out, another player who was injured. He should be on the score sheet here, but his header goes horribly wide. He got it all wrong. And then in injury time, the last chance to get snatch a point from this one. But the shot is saved. And then from the resulting corner, Evans swings it in. Mullin's there, but he can't get anything strong to it, and that will likely be the final whistle. A late push from us, a better second half, but overall Borough with a much better side. Here it was a really lacklustre performance from us, especially in the first half, and after a really impressive 1-0 victory, we follow that up with a 1-0 defeat. So very back and forth in this season. You can kind of see a rhythm. We're struggling to find any sort of form, positively or negatively. It's kind of one step forward, one step back. But luckily, because of all those points we collected in the early parts of the season, the bad run of form is not affecting us too much. We're down to 12th right now, 6 points out the playoffs, where Middlesboro now occupy that fourth and final playoff spot. As we see here, a few forwards that I'm looking at, Ellis Sims, Patson Daka, Ryan Brewster, Oscar Estupinian and Shea Adams, all players that I'm potentially looking at, players that we spoke about during the bumper episode 50, potentially replacing Paul Mullin. We're looking to replace him in the next year or so because he's 31 years old now. I know he's still smashing it, but we do need to think about long-term future. So yeah, just keeping my eye on a few championship strikers who I think could fit the mould for us. And one of those strikers, Ellis Sims, I just got to say quickly, a big shout out to Sims and his team Coventry, who almost pulled off the most unbelievable comeback, potentially in FA Cup history, on the weekend. They played Man United at Wembley in the FA Cup semi-final. United went 3-0 up. With 15 minutes to go, it looked like the game was done and dusted, but Coventry came back. Ellis Sims starting the comeback, and they came back from 3-0 down to draw 3-3, went to extra time. They thought they'd scored the winner in the last minute of extra time, but it was ruled out for offsides, and then Man United went on to win on penalties. But what a comeback it was for the Sky Blues, and I'm sure Mark Robins will use that kind of experience to push them as they attempt to reach the playoffs within the last few games of the championship season. They of course were at Wembley and tasted defeat in the playoff final last year, so not a good place for Coventry to visit Wembley, but they're hoping to change that in the near future. Well, into the third game of the episode, it would be Stoke away from home. We beat the Potters 1-0 at home in December. They're currently 16th right now, 5 points behind us, but in that midfield pack where there's not much going on for them. They're not going to make playoffs, but they're not really a relegation threatened side, so sort of in limbo a little bit. This was a bit of a back and forth game. We went 1-0 down. Cyrus Christie with a poor turnover, and Campbell found Wesley, who grabbed his 10th goal of the league season. But we would make it 1-1. Mendy to Mullin, that combo, M&M once again linking up, and we would tie it 1-1 with 25 minutes to go. But just 5 minutes later, Wesley and Campbell combine again, this time the former feeding the latter, as Stoke retook a 2-1 lead. It's really frustrating because you work so hard to get back level in the game and they concede a goal straight afterwards. It was just, really infuriating, and that was really the vibe of this game. As you see here, Alex Lowry had a really good chance one-on-one late on, should have scored. The keeper makes a great save, and unfortunately from the resulting corner as well, the keeper comes up with another big save from Paul Mullin's header. Mendy with with the second corner. Can we get something from here? Elliot Lee attempts the acrobatic, but Stoke get it out. 5 minutes to go on the clock. Wrexham recycle the ball. Josh Earl, oh, he's taken out there by Wesley. That was quite an erratic tackle from the striker. And yeah, the referee brandishes the red card. Straight red for the former Villa striker. And Stoke will see this game out with 10 men. I don't think there's much time on the clock. As you see the tackle there, that was an awful tackle. Yeah, not much time on the clock left for us to make an impact, and it would be back-to-back defeats. Stoke make it. They split the season series. Easy for me to say. We beat them at home. They beat us at home, as they move to just a couple points behind us now. And yeah, it's another defeat for us. I don't know, we're kind of struggling for form right now, but I kind of expected this. Our early season form, I didn't expect that to come. I actually expected this to be sort of the normal for us, struggling for wins. But thankfully, because we got those points early on the board early in the season, we're sort of not looking over our shoulder at the relegation battle, although we are now into the bottom half of the table, 13th. 42 points on the board, 12 wins from our 31 games. Stoke 2 places behind us now on just 1 point, as we see the relegation scrap is tight. You got 4 teams separated by just 2 points, and we'll be facing one of those in the fourth and final game of the episode. It is Ipswich at the racecourse ground. We drew 2-2 at Portman Road earlier in the season, but they are 22nd right now. 1 point from safety. So you'd think we are the favourites, but actually Ipswich are kind of in form right now. I had a look at their results, and they've picked up 4 points from their last possible 9 available to move off the bottom and within a point of safety. So this isn't going to be an easy one for us. But despite Bennett still not being available, despite him being back in training, we do make 6 changes. Both wingers are rotated. Bradshaw is in from the off as well. Paul Mullin dropped into Cam. Aaron Hayden captain in the side today. He is in for Will Fish. Can we return to winning ways after 2 defeats on the bounce? We look to avoid 3 defeats. Well, 17 minutes on the clock. Bradshaw would link up with Mullin. A beautiful ball from Tom as he finds Paul in behind. First touch off the thigh, and then he volleys home. Great little run there behind the defence. And we were taking an early lead. I'll be honest, this was our first shot of the game. Ipswich was dominating the opening 20 minutes. But Paul is so clinical, and he grabs his 14th league goal of the season as he pushes for a 3rd consecutive golden boot. What an achievement that would be. I think he's about 3 or 4 goals off the top right now. Well, Broadhead would continue the Ipswich dominance and would force Wes into a really good save. Strong left hand from Fotheringham there, looking to make amends after a couple of easy goals he's let up recently. And, well, he definitely is making up for it here. Another big save as Ipswich continue their domination. As we enter first half injury time, we would not be able to hold on to the lead. Ipswich would grab a very deserved equaliser. Wes Burns with the nifty footwork before beating his namesake, Wes Fotheringham, into the far corner, and we would head into the halftime break tied at 1 apiece. Well, going into the second half, 7 minutes in, I want you guys to let me know in the comments, was this a penalty? Cyrus Christie deemed to foul Ladapo. Now, I'm going to show this on the replay. I thought this was so soft. It seems like there's minimal knee-on-knee contact, and Ladapo seems to go down, not even straight away, after a step or so. So, I mean, look, it's just slight knee-on-knee contact. I don't know, it seems so soft for me. Let me know in the comments, was this a penalty in your eyes? Yes or no? Well, Amari Hutchinson, a player who we're keeping an eye on, someone I think commented a couple of seasons ago that we should potentially pick this guy up. I've keeping my eye on him, and well, he actually scores against us. The absolute audacity to Panenka, the penalty, sends Fotheringham down the wrong way and just dinks it down the middle to give Ipswich their first lead of the night. And then Broadhead, who scored in the 2-2 draw at Portman Road, would double Ipswich lead here. As I'll be honest, I can't argue the scoreline. They dominated us all game, Ipswich. When we took the lead, it was completely undeserved. And Ipswich would then score 4 unanswered, 3 in the second half as Ladapo would grab a goal for himself. And just to make matters worse, Ryan Morris getting it seems like a pretty nothing tackle there, but as you can see in the top left-hand corner, and he's got the ball now. He doesn't look right. Brian Morris picking up an injury, and we'll probably have to bring him off. Chambers whipping the ball in. As we look for damage limitation now, this game has just completely got away from us. And Ipswich, the team in the relegation zone, are going to pick up another 3 points here. And they're going to make it 7 points from their previous 12 available as they look to pull off a really good recovery run for them as Paul Mullin hits the bar. I mean, how's your luck? Mullin, his header hits the bar, looking for that M&M connection once again. As Ipswich, are they going to get a fifth here? Luongo breaking into the box. Don't want to concede a foul, following him with a big save, and it's cleared away. But that will be it. The referee blows his whistle, and boos ring around the race course as the home fans see their side lose 4-1 to a side who were in the relegation zone. I think Ipswich will now be out of the relegation zone with that victory. But that's 3 defeats on the bounce as well, and we're in a really, really sticky run of form right now. I don't think we're going to drop into a relegation battle, but at the same time, I don't want to be losing games. So let me know in the comments, guys, is there something I should be changing? I'm just not sure what I'm doing wrong right now. And fortunately enough, as we see the table there, we're 14th right now, 42 points on the board. We're in a really tight midfield pack, actually, 4 points separating. It looks like 17th and 10th right now as... yeah, we're about 10 points off the playoffs now. It looks like the playoffs won't be in our future this season. 17 points above the relegation zone, so we're sort of in a limbo right now. We're out of both cups. You know, this is the last third of the season, but it's threatening to be quite mundane. So let me know in the comments, guys. Is there something I should be changing? But yeah, that will be it for today's episode. I hope you're enjoying it. Drop a like on the video if you are. Sub to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll catch you in episode 52 very soon.